We are grateful to our sponsors, Kelly Stafford with Stafford Tree Service, and also Black Kow Cow Manure. If you need your trees trimmed locally, remember Stafford Tree Service at staffordtreesvc.com. And please visit Black Kow Cow Manure, that's K-O-W. Remember, both of the contact details are in the description below. Hi, I'm Stan DeFreitas for the Ask Mr. Greenthumb gardening segments. You know, this plant makes a nice choice for a lot of folks that want bright green foliage and an orchid-like flower. I think this delicate little purple flower coming through here is just really outstanding. This is Pseuderanthemum, and it's a second cousin of the shrimp plant, which we've showed you in other segments. And you can kind of see the similarity. It has that same long linear kind of glossy green leaf, and then you also have just the pretty flowers coming up underneath, kind of like an added bonus. The Pseuderanthemum will take improved soil. I'd always improve it. That whole family of the Acathanaceae group, I'd be adding peat, I'd be adding cow, I'd be adding organic material like mulch, and I'd make sure it gets a good watering on a regular basis, especially at first. You have to, like little babies, you're gonna have to make sure you get these established. So that first 6 months to a year, you gotta water quite a bit if we don't have a lot of rain during your summertime. As far as soil, 5.5 to 6.5, I'd make sure that it gets a good 6 hours of bright sun a day. And this plant is not considered toxic to pets. I wouldn't put them on a diet of it, but I would consider one that you can certainly have in your landscape without being too worried about what's going to happen to your pets. I think this would be fine for the most part. It does have this beautiful foliage of this purple blooms, and we described it kind of like orchid-like. And it does have sort of that orchid color, that kind of vibrant purpley pink color. And you may see a little bit of variance, but with the variety. But I think the foliage alone is attractive. And I think when it gets out of bounds, you could come back in here and take out some of the top leaders, keep it a little more in bounds, and you'll get your flowers coming up underneath it. As far as pH, 5.5 to 6.5, I would make sure that it gets a good fertilization with water soluble once a month if I'm doing water soluble. But if I'm using a time-released fertilizer, I would probably just do that a couple times a year. Sprinkle some of that into the bed and then cover over with a good mulch. People sometimes ask me, well, mulch tends to go away. It does. But as it breaks down, remember it's giving you it's building that soil, which is going to help hold those nutrients. One of the reasons that I recommend that you add so much organic matter to your soil is that, especially in many parts of the country, either we have a hard clay rock soil, or like in Florida, where we are basically silicon sand. It may drain pretty good, but it doesn't hold water well, and it doesn't hold nutrients well. So you have to really improve that to get the kind of results you want. If you're using a balanced fertilizer, maybe it's 6-6-6 or 10-10-10, make sure that you do it according to the label directions. I can't ever tell you to go against that label, but I would say that in most cases, improving the fertility of the soil, making sure you have a good pH that's not too acidic or too alkaline. So check that pH from time to time on your beds and find out where your soil pH is. And then you can adjust it. The sulfur to make it more acidic, or if you in some cases need to add more dolomite, some lime to help sweeten the soil, you can get that range better. If you get that range where it's ideal, you won't get into nearly as many minor element deficiencies. Many of those minor elements are tied up if the pH is really improper. But this is a good plant, I think, for your backyard landscape, and I would encourage you to consider it as one of your choices when you're walking through the nursery. Once again, I want to thank you for telling all your friends and neighbors, all the relatives, say, hey, listen to that Ask Mr. Greenthumb segment on YouTube every Saturday at 10. We appreciate all of you for being such good followers and helping us increase our numbers. Once again, Thanks for watching.